My lovers, welcome to my channel. My name is Made for Love, and we're going to have a look at what do we need to do this week. What is the focus going to be on in terms of healing and just general themes that may come up for us to deal with. Pardon the mannequin in the background. My mom is a designer, so I don't know what that means. Maybe that's symbolic. I don't know. Are we at a standstill? I don't know. Okay. Before I get into the cards, there's a message that I want to share with you. So last night, I had two dreams that I want to share with you. Well, yeah, they're dreams. Okay. So the first dream was this. I dreamt that I had on this lovely kurta. Lovely, beautiful green kurta, go pants. And I go into this temple. And they're waiting on me. There are people waiting on me. It's like 3 people waiting on me. These ladies at the door, 2 ladies at the door, and this mystic inside. So they tell me to take off my shoes, and I go inside and I meet with a mystic, and he does a reading for me. And he says, the reason that you're feeling stuck, or you feel like you are at an impasse, and you're not sure what is the way forward, is because you are conflicted inside. And he said, you have to resolve that conflict within so that you can move forward. I said, what conflict is that? And he said, the conflict of loving and yet not loving, and the conflict of trusting and yet not trusting. And when I got that message, I really meditated upon that for a long time. And there were so many things to unpack in there. First, in terms of my 3D relationships, I had to ask myself, how was I loving and yet not loving myself? How was I loving and yet not loving myself? And we know what love is. It's being patient, kind, we know the verse. Right? So how have I not been patient with myself? How have I not been kind with myself? How have I not persevered with myself? And then, how I have not loved the other people in my life? Or how have I not been patient with them? How have I not shown them kindness? So there's this loving, saying that I'm loving, so showing love in some respects, but then not showing love. And then there was trusting. How have I not trusted myself and my intuition? How have I not trusted the other people in my life and their intuition? How have I not trusted spirit, but yet trusted spirit? You understand? So there's this constant conflict inside of me, where I'm trusting my intuition but not trusting my intuition. Because if I trusted my intuition, then I would be able to release, and I wouldn't have this need to try and control what is happening. So I've been loving yet not loving. I've been trusting people but yet not trusting. It's like I trust to a point, and then I expect them to, betray me or shaft me, and that's what I bring into my life. That's what manifests. So I thought that was a message for you guys too. For anybody that feels like they're at an impasse or they're feeling stuck, it's because you're stuck inside self, and that there's conflict that you need to resolve there. And you have to ask yourself, how are you loving yet not loving? And how are you trusting? And I really took that to mean trust spirit. How are you trusting spirit and yet not trusting spirit? So that's one. The other dream I had now, I was in a dance class with this man that I did not know. So I don't know if there's a soulmate coming in or what. I don't know. I was with this man standing in front of me. It is not my DM. This person's my usual type. Tall, skinny. I don't know why. It's my usual type. And I'm trying to do the things that I usually do. which is control. So I'm trying to control the dance. I'm trying to tell him how to dance. And then he's like, release the control and just trust. And he says, close your eyes. Don't think about the dance. Just allow yourself to be led. And that's what I did. I closed my eyes. And we had the most magical dance I have ever experienced. And again, I saw that as another message. That you just need to release. We need to release control, close our eyes and trust spirit. So that person might even have been one of my guardian angels. You know, you get new ones from time to time. So it's about closing your eyes and trusting and releasing that need for control, releasing that need to know what happens next, and giving spirit that control to move in your life as is intended. So if the message resonates for you, it does. If it doesn't, move on. There's going to be something here that does. All right, so let's see what's been brought into focus this week. But I felt that this was a message for you guys as well. How are we loving and yet not loving? And how are we trusting and yet not trusting? This is what we have to figure out. So let's get 4 cards from this Chakra Wisdom Oracle deck. I really like this, you know. I find it's been really on point. Oh wow. What a card to come out here. Let's get one more card. And faith. Okay, so we have some of these the same messages that I just talked about coming up. All right, so that's why I had to share that with you. So the first card we got, it was about this is vanity. And it's a throat chakra activation. And throat chakra is all about truth, being your authentic self and seeing the truth. What I'm getting from this card is ego. So what we have to focus on today is the ways that we stroke that ego, the ways that we feed that ego through all pursuits in the material world that need to be recognized. Look at these people, right? They're all part of, the upper echelons of society, and they have their wine in their hand. So there's a need within us to be seen, to be part of the Joneses. That vanity, that focus on the 3D, that recognition from others and not spirit. So we have to look and see how is this manifesting in our lives, where we're seeking that recognition from spirit. We're seeking that recognition from others, from society, rather than focusing on what's important, most important, which is that recognition from spirit. And then we also have another truth card, and it talks about workaholic. The truth behind drowning yourself in work. What are you running from? What are you hiding? What are you preventing yourself from facing by drowning yourself in work? We have to see the truth of that. We have to see the truth of our victimhood. We are never spiritually a victim. Nothing is ever happening to us. It is happening for us so that our heart space can expand. This is heart chakra activation. So it's about getting learning that higher lesson behind everything that happens, and not staying in victim mentality. So it's about looking at things as, this has happened for me, and not this has happened to me. So we have to change the stories that we are telling ourselves about what happened. So I can stay here and say, this person or that person betrayed me, that they did me wrong. Or I can say, this is what I learned from this experience. This is why this had to happen the way that it happened. And once you see it like that, then you can move out of that bitterness and resentment and release the past. And then faith. And it's a third eye chakra. So this is about trusting your intuition. So that's why I went down that road about trusting and yet not trusting. So it's about trusting spirit, trusting your intuition, and not giving in to the 3D of what you're seeing, what you're hearing, what you're seeing on Facebook, what you're seeing on your social media. It's not real. It's an illusion. Have faith. Trust. Not just trust spirit halfway, but trust that everything is happening as it should. Trust that abundance is coming your way. You're about to birth something important. Trust that you're being spiritually guided and protected. Trust that there is love, new love, coming in for you. Trust. All right, what karmic lessons are we going to face this week? What lessons are we going to face this week? What's the lessons? So whatever we're facing this week comes from biblical times and the times of Atlantis. So I'm really getting that what you're going to face this week is referring to your spiritual gifts and spiritual power. Right? Because Atlantis was about, crystal power. And I'm seeing the dolphins here. So know that whatever you're going to go through this week, you are going to be divinely guided and protected. Something is going to be destroyed so that something can live. We also get here biblical times. Right? So whatever you're going to experience, it goes way back to the times of, of Jesus. And the times of Atlantis. So this is all about spiritual gifts, religious experiences. Okay? And in those times, know that the person, your love interest now, they were there with you. These are lifetimes that you've shared together. So the karma or lessons that you're going to face this week are going to be with regard to your DM or DF. Your soulmate, your love. So there's something that's going to be brought into focus. There's some big lessons that are going to be brought into focus here with regard to your soul, the person that you're connected to. Let me see what this is about. Alright, so we know what lifetimes we're dealing with here. Let's see, what is this you're going to learn about with regard to your spouse? So this person, you guys are either married before or were in a relationship before. Yeah. So know that it's definitely a soul connection. No doubt about that. And this soul connection is going to be brought into focus this week because there's some healing that needs to take place here. Apparently there's been some kind of non-closure that has happened, so it's going to be coming up for healing. Okay, so there's some healing that's going to be taking place here. Let me take another card. There's some kind of karma. Yeah, so you're finally going to be seeing some kind of progress here, some kind of closure is going to be coming in. Somebody's coming in to deliver some kind of closure or some kind of healing to the situation. All right, let's pull some cards on lessons and blessings and see what that is about. So there's a soulmate coming in this week to give some sort of closure. Lessons and blessings. Okay. So let's look at the lessons. So the lessons that you're going to be learning this week is how to be alone but yet not lonely. One. And that being left out in the cold is not necessarily a bad thing, because it can drive you towards your abundance. It can allow you or force you to stand in your Queen of Pentacles or Empress energy. I always feel Empress vibes over her. So know that you were left out in the cold for a reason, and you're going to find out why, and it's really going to be brought into focus this week. There are going to be some harsh words spoken, some harsh truth that you may not want to hear, or harsh truth that you may come to the realization of, but it's all happening to drive you into this energy, to be loving, more grounded, more nurturing. Everything is happening for a reason. Okay, so there's definitely something coming in this week that's going to bring a bit of closure and healing to your situation. Let's get a couple cards for healing. We're going to take two from this deck. This is the Whispers of Healing deck. I think Dawn gave us that one. And the chakra cards, I think, were by Dimple. I'm going to take the first two. And I'm going to get two cards from the Power of Surrender. Alright, so some toxic relationships are coming into the fore here. What is this? Yes, this is exactly why. First card we have control. What did I say about releasing control? We have these birds here flying high, flying free. And weirdly enough, in my dream with the dancing partner, when I closed my eyes, I saw us floating and dancing. So when you release control, there's a freedom that comes with that. And it's about releasing it all to the divine. These birds, they're migratory birds. They're migrating by instinct. They go with the flow. They're not controlling the situation. They're going with the flow of the universe. And so we too have to go with the flow of spirit. To get answers, what you need to do is meditate. This card looks kind of pinkish, and pink talks about, crown chakra, and that's all your divine downloads. So I'm getting that you guys are going to be getting some divine downloads that's going to help you guys heal. Okay? So when you meditate, you pray, there's something that's going to be revealed about why you were left out in the cold, because this card has a lot of winter scenes. So it's gonna be revealed why you were left out in the cold. You're gonna get some downloads. All these is crown chakra activation. So that's divine downloads. So there's some messages from spirit. So this is about surrendering to spirit and receiving these downloads. And then they say, surrender to the idea that you can fix somebody. You can't fix nobody except yourself. You can't fix anyone except yourself. If you're staying in a connection where you feel you can fix someone, where someone is going to change, you can make someone change, stop it. You can't. They will change if and when they want to. It says it's time for a relationship to shift. It doesn't work to try and fix someone. You can't. Each person must be accountable for his or own healing. So study yourself. And then it says surrender unhealthy relationships. See the toxicity in your relationships and release it. Release it. Don't let it brand your heart. Don't let it affect your heart and scar your heart. Release it. It says let go of relationships that don't serve you, including unavailable or toxic people. You deserve to be treasured by others and to be surrounded by positive people in your life. Surrender the codependency. Surrender the toxicity. You cannot fix them. Some of them you have to throw them back into the oven so they can bake some more. They're not ready. They're not ready for consumption. Throw them back in the oven. Let's see what's coming in for love. Let's see what's coming in for love. Okay, this way. What's being brought into focus with love? I'll take 4 cards. Alright, so apparently some of you guys are calling your soulmate. Now, whether it's a soulmate or it's your twin or a new love or an old love, you are calling it in, are calling them in, and you're calling them in by the healing work that you've been doing on your inner child, your family issues, working on your foundation. That's why you're calling them in. And it says here, your prayers, affirmations, and visualization help bring you guys together. And that's why it's so important to resolve that conflict within yourself, because you have to make up your mind what you want. You can't be giving God, the universe, mixed messages. You have to resolve that inner conflict. And playfulness, again, create that safe space where this person can feel like they can tell you anything. Extending that, it says to recapture romance, allow your inner youthful spirit of fun to shine. So allow that innocence to lead the way. Don't be so defensive. Think about yourself before you were heartbroken. How were you like to say you were open and loving? You have to return to that space because they want you to give your relationship a chance. Give your relationship a chance. It says work on your partnership. And working on that partnership is going to take you to a higher level of commitment. It says here engagement. Your love life is ascending to a higher level of commitment. Okay? And that's the love that exists between yourself and love that exists between yourself and others. All right. Let's see what themes are going to be operating in your person of interest, your love interest. What themes are going to be operating in their life this week? So these are your themes. Let's see what's going to be happening. I'm going to take 4 cards. What are the themes that they will be dealing with? The major themes. They have someone in their life that's sucking all their energy. I'm seeing a lot of mosquitoes here for some reason. And I wasn't seeing them before. So somebody's sucking their life's blood. Okay. Maybe we have one very good. Alright, let's see what's going on here. Okay. Alright, so this is definitely a masculine energy that we are picking up on here. Okay. So what am I getting is this main male, this wealthy man. So apparently your person has recently come into some sort of abundance. Okay? They've come into some sort of abundance here. Right? This main male. So this is some kind of divine masculine. They've come into abundance and they're laying a foundation for themselves. This is the card number 13. I don't know if they've been unlucky. But 13 reduces to 4. So they are laying a new foundation for themselves. And they're recognizing who's the main female in their life. Who's the main female in their life. And that to get to this main female, they have to find strength, because 35 reduces to 8. That's a strength card. They have to find strength to go down a different path. To do something differently. To allow themselves to be divinely guided. That's the only way that they can get to their counterpart. So your person, they're really focused on you. They're focused on you and they're focused on this partnership and how they can manifest it. Okay? They know that there's a different path. They need to take a different path this time. And they have to find that strength within to do that. Alright, so let's see what's Spirit's opinion about everything that we spoke about today. What's Spirit opinion about everything that we spoke about today? Oh, I didn't even realize. Okay. Alright, so the first message, bam. You're calling in your abundance. Besides your soulmate, you are calling in your abundance. And apparently, your counterpart is calling in their abundance too. Okay? And both of you are recognizing that there's something better. You may feel like you're in some kind of stalemate energy now. But when you release control, something better is going to come into your life. But it's only going to stay there if you're able to compromise and if you're able to offer compassion. I don't know, I saw the word compromise and instead of compromise, I saw compassion. I don't know why. I saw compassion. When this person comes in, they want you to get more information. Maybe the conclusions that you have come to in the past were erroneous, or maybe it was dead on. But either way, you need more information in order to make a decision about your life and with regard to your relationships. And compromise, it looks like the scales of justice. So there's some kind of justice and balance that's going to be restored this week, whether it's a direct communication from someone or it's direct communication from spirit. But I'm really getting spirit vibes here because of these pink cards that came out. That's all about divine downloads. Okay? All right, so I hope something here resonated for you. And I thank you guys so much for reaching out and, really being understanding about the delay in readings and all that. It's really a crazy situation here. But, in the Caribbean, this is a time when, all these weather systems are very active. The last we heard, Tropical Storm Karen was heading for Puerto Rico. So if you have anybody in Puerto Rico, you might want to reach out to them. Make sure that they're okay. But, it's like slowly waking its way up the Caribbean, and there's more right behind. But we're accustomed to it. It's a very active season for us. And we're glad for the rainfall too, because prior to this, just last week, they were talking about that a lot of our dams and reservoirs had dried up. So I guess Spirit heard our call, and we're getting a bit more than we bargained for. So there's blessings in everything that's happening. And I think the last report last night was that we've now been able to store enough water to last us through our dry season next year. So everything there's a blessing. And I think that's what we have to extract here. For everything that's happened, yeah, you might feel left out in the cold, but trust me, I think when you get that more information, you're going to realize everything there is a blessing, okay? There's a blessing of love. I'm looking at that handlebag. It has a lot of hearts all over it. There's a blessing of love. All right, guys. Take care. Bye.